final style of music we're going to look at in the style selector is progressive rock. Now, this is also kind of known as math rock, just because there's usually some odd time signatures in there, or there's something that feels like odd time signatures, or there's weird hits. And sometimes the songs can get really long. You know, you have songs that are 12 minutes plus. And some bands that come to mind when I think of progressive rock are obviously Dream Theater, Rush, famous Canadian band, and Porcupine Tree. They're all amazing bands, and definitely check some of them out, because you're going to hear a lot of weird time signatures and stuff that's going to pop out at you, and you're probably really going to like the drumming. It's not always super heavy. It's not always, you know, crashing around and stuff like that. Sometimes it is. But there is a lighter side to progressive rock as well, and sometimes you have to play very dynamically, very, very quiet, and stuff like that. But it does take a different brain to actually get it right. And I haven't always been there, but I do just love it. I love experimenting with different odd times, especially with a band or something like that. If you can jam out, you know, in 9, or jam out going from 7 to 9, or common time to 7/8, it's just an amazing feeling. And so that's basically what I've done. And this is definitely going to be one of the more challenging styles for you to go through. We basically have 5 exercises, and I'm just going to quickly go through the time signatures in each one of those exercises. So the first one, we're going from common time into 7/8. The next one is common time into 5/4, so 4/4 into 5/4. The next one is common time into 9/8, okay, so 9/8 notes in the second bar. The fourth one is 7/4 into 5/4, and then the last one is 9/8 into 7/8. So it's really, really fun, and I would just recommend start really slow and just count it out as you hit your hi-hat, because it's not as hard as you think. And it's all about, you know, hitting the downbeat on the next bar, and then that'll give you a reference and you'll know exactly where you are. So when I'm playing all these exercises, I want you to kind of just follow along with me and count along with me. I'm playing them all with a quarter note click, so we didn't change the click track, so you're actually going to hear in the first exercise, the click is going to be with me the first time through, and then it's going to be on the off beats the second time through, because I basically dropped 1/8 note, and we're playing to a quarter note click. All right, so I know you understand the note values, and I know you understand how that all works. And so a quarter note click through all these exercises. I'm playing them at 70, and again at 110, with the exception of number 4, which I'm playing at 130 and then 200, because that's a quarter note based beat. And playing it at 70 would probably take me till next year. So I'll play it at 130 and 200. So I'll play through these exercises, and then we're going to chat again at the end of the lesson. So were you able to follow along with all the odd times? If you were, that's great. If you weren't able to, that's totally fine. Just take this page, practice it very slowly at your kit, and it'll all start to make sense very, very quickly. It's not as hard as it looks, and it's not as hard as it sounds. What I'd like for you to do is just play these at the slower tempo, okay, of 70 beats per minute. Learn them each for 2 minutes straight perfectly at the slow tempo of 70 beats per minute. After you've done that, you have completed the style selector. Congratulations. You're ready to actually move on and start studying whatever you want to study as far as style or as far as concept. You can learn music, you can go delve into rudiments, you can really, really study different techniques and speed, maybe double bass. It's absolutely endless what you can do with your drumming. But I hope I've really given you a good taste of what it's like to play some of these styles and what it's like to actually, build up the independence required to play some of these styles. It's really, really fun. And being a well-rounded drummer is one of the best things that you can be. Back when I first started playing drums, we had VHS and we still had cassette tapes. And I feel old saying that, but I remember I got this tape when I bought a bunch of drum gear from the music store. And it was a tape with Buddy Rich on it. And he was just doing an interview. So I got a tape for free of a Buddy Rich interview. And he basically was saying how a drummer isn't a jazz drummer. They're not just a rock drummer. You don't just do that. A drummer can play all styles. And I don't totally agree with that. I agree we should maybe have a little bit of a handle on most styles, but then specialize in a few. But I really, really took heart to that, and I said, yeah, I really want to learn all styles. I really want to at least have an understanding of all styles, because here's one of the greatest drummers in the world, and if he says we should learn all styles or we should be a well-rounded drummer, then I'm going to try and be the best dang well-rounded drummer I can be. So I hope you agree with me, and I hope you think the exact same as our good friend Buddy Rich. So once you've completed all these styles, you can go ahead and move on to the next section of successful drumming.